003. Jessup Premium Storage.
The cool, clean, and secure.
When you have an accident, you, not the insurance company, chooses the body shop, and you only need one estimate. All you have to do is call Jerome Riles at B&C Collision Center in downtown Scriven to deal with the adjusters and insurance company. Whether it's a little ding or a major crash, that B&C Collision Center across from Washington Academy Shop in Scriven, deal with the insurance company so you don't have to. Call them at 579-2274. That's 579-2274.
Hello, friends and neighbors. At Mike Butch Ford, we're offering the best prices of the year. The Ford Friends and Neighbors year-end sales event. Ford Motor Company has authorized X-Plan discounts to everyone from now to January 4th. Low interest rates for qualified buyers, huge discounts, plus special offers from Mike Butch Ford means all new Fords at the lowest prices of the year. Get over $10,000 off on select new Ford F-150s. Finance with Ford Motor Credit, get another $750 rebate. You want to save even more? Come to the house Good Service Built, and we'll give you 5 free oil changes while in 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty on any new Ford we sell. Timmy Rozier, Joey Lee, Bart Duncan, Randy Williamson, and Tracy Ross are ready to get you the best prices of the year. Stop the search. Come to Mike Butch Ford, the dealership where friends send friends and neighbors are welcome. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Ford vehicles. This is Sammy Dixon saying thank you. Thank you very much for your business.
105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. 3 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Monday morning, halfway through the month, the 16th day of November. We're looking for a high today of around 75 degrees and sunny skies. The Omaha River level, let's see if it's still rising. Yes, it is, 9.5 feet and rising. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by B&C Collision Center in Scriven, Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, by Parker Insurance and Realty on Macon Street in downtown Jessup, and by Mike Butch Ford in Blackshear. And good morning, Bob. Once again, no guest, but you said we got a guest tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Coach Cotton will be in here tomorrow to talk high school basketball.
Right, Coach Cotton.
They'll be in action tomorrow night in Ware County. But the boys are off to a 2-1 start. Girls are 3-0, so they won Saturday here at home against Long County. So
they did win against their nemesis, Long County, huh?
Our good neighbors from Long County.
That's right. Right across the river there, our good Blue Tide fans over there.
Yeah, Blue Tide's had our number the last couple of years in basketball, so it's nice to finally beat them.
Yes, they do.
The Coach Cotton will be here. Always fun to talk to him, talk about the high school, Royal Wide went straight from the Mary Persons games Friday night, played Saturday, had 8 points, so it's good to see him contribute right away.
Right. Man, right from that game to there, huh? Jeez. And what a game up there. I think Mary Persons, they were predicted to win by what? 14, 21? 21 points. And we were right there with them most of the game. And just an extra fumbled extra point, we could have maybe gone on to overtime. Just hats off to the boys as the defense there just played an outstanding game for 3 quarters.
Yeah, Joe made a good point. You missed that extra point instead of a 14-14 game. Mary Persons would have had to play a lot different. It was a tie game than they did with this 1 point lead. And they just kind of played conservative and ran clock, was able to run out the clock at the end of the game. Right. So if we had the tie game, it would have been a totally different ball game there at the end. But missed that extra point. Tough way to
look at the end of the season, huh?
If I heard Joe say, I can't believe it, one time on the way home, I must have heard it 30 times before.
So it was a fumble snap?
I tell you, we were so far up, it was hard to tell. I couldn't tell. It's just, I don't know if it was a bad snap. We didn't get it down. Just couldn't tell. We were too high up. So
yeah,
we just didn't get it on the tee. I don't think the kicker had a chance to kick it. So
who threw the ball?
The backup quarterback.
The backup quarterback, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see a picture across the field there toward the press box where you were way up there. You were up there.
We were up there. I didn't know I needed to take a flashlight. I appreciate Bo Adams finding me a flashlight because the lights were under the press box.
Under the press box.
So we were kind of standing in the pitch dark, so I couldn't see my notes or anything. So
wow.
Bo Adams got me a flashlight. So
bless his heart.
He had a flashlight to help.
What a good principle.
But once the wind started, it was forget it. Everything just all the papers went flying. So. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as, we dressed warm, but when that wind started blowing in that fourth quarter, it got pretty cold.
Yeah, it'll do that. All right, well, congratulations to the Wayne County team for just an outstanding game there in the first round of state playoff action. You play a team that's supposed to beat you by 21 points, and you're right there head-to-head with them the entire game starting the second quarter.
I looked at all the scores from, the matches between 4 and 1, and Wayne County definitely gave the best effort of a 4 seed. Most of the other 4 seeds got blown out by the number 1 team. So we came the closest to pulling the big upset. Would have been a big upset if we could have pulled it off. And like I said, we had a chance. Both teams had chances to score, but it was a good defensive ball game. Tough way to lose, but like I said, Joe kept saying, I would have rather got blown out than lose by 1 point. Yeah, it's just a hard pill to swallow. I saw Bill Cheshire Saturday, and he played at FSU, played a lot of high school games, great athlete. I said, "Did you ever lose by an extra point?" And he didn't even hesitate. He said, "No, he rattled off the year, lost to Thomasville 7-6, one of those 2 games they lost." So he said, "This game's gonna, you'll remember this."
You'll remember that. It'll eat at you, eat at you.
30 years down the road, you remember that 14-13 loss to Mary Versus. I thought that was kind of interesting. I saw Bill Saturday, and I said, you played a lot of football. Did you ever lose a 1-point game? He said, he just rounded off, didn't even hesitate. So
he knew it right off.
Knew it right off. Lost to Thomasville 7-6. So Mary Persons 14-13. Something we'll remember for a long time. Just a tough way to lose.
All right.
You keep looking at your phone.
Well, I've got a county commissioner who's supposed to come on the Butch and Bob show, so I'm trying to. All right, if he's listening right now, we have Coach Cotton coming in tomorrow, right? Now, Coach Cotton won't take all 30 minutes, will he? All right, so if you want to come in tomorrow on the Butch and Bob show, you can do that and talk about your open house you got coming this week. This is Ralph from the Trial House.
Oh, right, okay. Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday. So I figure you can come in Tuesday. Now, Wednesday we have the Christmas parade folks coming back in. I don't know how long that's going to take. And, of course, right now, Thursday morning is open. So he can come in tomorrow morning at 8:15. Or you can come in Thursday morning at 8 o'clock. You can just text me back and tell me which day you want to do that. So, and you can come in just as soon as you can this morning and record your ad, Ralph. But Thursday morning at 8 or tomorrow morning at 8:15, just text me, Ralph, and let me know which day you want to come in. Okay? Because I can't sit here and try to text and talk on there at the same time. So you heard that, Ralph? 8:15 tomorrow. Or at 8 o'clock on Thursday. So tell me just which one. Because his open house is on Thursday, right?
Right.
Right. That's where the Trial House, Hickok House is.
Chamber's got all kinds of events. They've got the membership luncheon tomorrow at AT College, and they've got the ribbon cutting tomorrow afternoon at the Yogurt Place, and then they got the Thursday ribbon cutting at the Hickok's Trial House.
So Yogurt shop tomorrow?
Yogurt shop tomorrow
at what time?
At 5:30. For the love of yogurt, Heavenly Creamery and more, 1147 West Cherry Street. That's tomorrow at 5:30. And the general membership luncheon is tomorrow it's underway at 11:30, but the program gets underway at 12 noon. And I hope I'm saying the president's name right. Do you know that? Gregory Aloha. He is the Coastal Pines Technical College president. He's the College of Coastal Georgia. He's the guest speaker.
He's the guest speaker.
Dr. Gregory, I'll just spell it Aloia.
Okay.
So I don't know how I'm saying Aloha, but I don't know if that's how you say it or not. So, but he's the guest speaker tomorrow at the event for the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So
all right.
Get your tickets from the Chamber again. For Chamber members, it's $15. Non-members, $20, but everybody's invited. Buffet lunch gets underway at 11:30. Program begins at 12 noon. So that's tomorrow. So the Chamber's got a busy week. They've got that tomorrow at the college, and they got the yogurt ribbon cutting at 5:30 tomorrow, and then they got the Trial House at 5:30 Thursday.
Okay, the Trial Hickok House. All right, so that's it. So
and they're still getting ready for the Christmas parade on December the 5th. So still looking for entries into the parade, looking for sponsorships into the parade. So if you're interested, call the Chamber at 427-2028 for all that information.
Okay.
It's a busy time for the Chamber.
Always a busy time this year for the Chamber. Just had someone text in here, Bob. If you got a question or comment for Bob here and I on the world famous Butch and Bob show, all you got to do is text at 912-427-3711, 912-427-3711. Bob, the text is saying, Bob is being politically correct. It was horrible at the top of that press box.
It was cold at the top of the press box. I know that. It was cold. Like I said, I've had worse. I tell you what was tough was climbing up to the press box.
Oh, was it?
And they needed an elevator or something. I mean, they had these old rails that just were kind of rusted. So I said, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I just wish I could have some light up there. I said I couldn't see. I couldn't see my notes, couldn't see the rosters. But like I said, I appreciate Bo Adams giving me the flashlight because that helped a little bit. But we got through it. It was just, like I said, I just hate that we didn't get that extra point and possibly go to overtime, possibly win the game. I mean, just played very, very well. As the comment was, if we played that well all season long, we would have won 7 games. I mean, the kids played lights out. Played probably the best game of the year, but the exciting game. It was interesting. I went to the restroom at halftime talking to Mary Persons people, and it was 14-7. I thought we were playing pretty good. I wonder if they'd be a little concerned. They were just calm as, we're a second half team. We blow people out in the second half, so. They didn't score a point the entire second half. So I think we had it shook up. We had their sideline shook up. One time their sideline just went totally ballistic. I mean, the coach was yelling, the offense coordinator was yelling. I mean, you could just tell there's panic on their sideline. They were flustered.
Yeah, I mean, you could predict to go in by 21 points and they barely hit.
There was a lot of concern they weren't going to win that ball game on their sideline, but unfortunately, we didn't get the extra point. And like I said, we'll live with it for a long, long time. Thanks. Just heard this Thomasville score, and that was years ago. That was back in the 50s. So 7-6 to Thomasville in the 50s, 14-13 to Mary Persons in the 2015.
There's been a lot of 1-point games either way for, It's amazing how you remember those stinging losses first.
Just a tough way to lose the game. I said it would have been nice to see if we could kick the extra point and see how it played out after that. I'm not saying we would have, I mean, Mary Persons very well could have come down and scored again, but like Joe said, they didn't have to score. If it was tied, they would have to play a totally different way than they were playing. I mean, they were just playing conservative. They had the 1-point lead and were able to grind out the clock. They put that big defensive tackle at tight end and kept running behind him, and we just had no answer for him. I mean, that guy's a beast, 6'6", 245, can run. Wow. So they did a good job of putting him on offense and running behind him. If they put him on the right side, they ran right. If they put him on the left side, they ran left. And we just couldn't handle him. But he's a great athlete. He got 30 offers from 30 different schools. He's going places. But it was a great game. It was a fun game to call. Like I said, kids played their hearts out, and just a tough way to lose. But get ready for next year. You're looking on that field, all those kids that played. There's a lot of freshmen in the lineup, a lot of sophomores in the lineup, a lot of juniors.
Young team.
Yeah, not a lot of seniors graduating. We're going to miss the seniors that are graduating, but as we say all the time, get your shades on because the future looks awfully bright for Wayne County football. JV team went undefeated, and just a lot of talent on that field. The Holloway kid who scored the touchdown is just a sophomore. MJ Fuller, freshman, Nolan Grooms, freshman, all those kids come back. So there's just talent all across the board on that football team. So, but it's going to be interesting. New region, though. It's going to be a little bit tougher.
What's the new region for us?
The preliminary is we're moving up to 5A. They're going to be with Ware County, Statesboro, South Effingham, New Hampstead are the 4 teams I know. There's one other team in there, but I can't remember who it is.
We have the school enrollment to move up to 5A?
That's the preliminary. We're moving up to 5A.
Oh man, that means we're going
to be the lowest
on the totem pole on 5 instead of the highest on the 4.
Right. But I like the teams coming in. I like the rivalry with Ware County. I like the rivalry with Statesboro. South Effingham's been a good rivalry. So good gates, good rivalry. So New Hampstead is that new school from Savannah who's finally going to move up and play football and other sports. But they've competed in cross country, so we're familiar with them, in soccer. So they've got some good athletes at New Hampstead. So. But that's the proposed region. So it's not official, but that's the preliminary. AJC put it out this past weekend, all the regions, all the preliminaries. So that's what Georgia High School, normally when they put it out in that kind of publication, it's pretty much going to be a done deal. So it's just a matter of being rubber stamped by everybody. But that's what the projection is. We're going to 5A with Ware and Statesboro and South Effingham, New Hampstead, and there's one other team in there, but I can't remember who it is.
Okay. Anybody from Huntsville? They stay on there.
I'm sorry, there it is, Liberty. I think Liberty is the other team in there.
Okay. All right. Let's get this close by. Somebody just sent in a text. Could you announce that the ladies of New Life Ministries, are having a ladies' night tomorrow night, Tuesday, November 17th at 6:30. They'll be playing bingo, having supper, and sharing an inspirational message. And New Life Ministries is located next to Billy Papa Car Lot there on West. On Pine Street, Cherry Street, whatever you want to call it there, Highway 341 at Sunset Boulevard, the little white church there next to Billy Popple. So Ladies of New Life Ministry is having a ladies' night. Everyone's invited tomorrow night at 6:30. Bingo, supper, sharing, inspirational message. It's the little white church next to Billy Popple. Car sales there at the intersection of Sunset Boulevard and Highway 341. Okay, we did that. All right, any other questions or comments for us on the world famous Butch and Bob Show? Just text us at 912-427-3711. Well, Georgia won Saturday by the skin of teeth.
Thank goodness for a punt return.
Yeah.
But it was a good ball game, hard fought game, good win. Anytime you win on the road at Auburn, it's a big win. So Georgia gladly take it. And like I said, they're hanging their hat on that 10-win season. They got a shot. They got a win at home against Southern, beat Tech in Atlanta, and then win a bowl game, and they got 10 wins. So that'll take the sting out a little bit of the disappointing season, but be interested to see how it all plays out. Like I said, don't hear much right now in Athens. It's still kind of quiet, but still rumblings behind the scenes whether or not Rick's going to get out after the year end or not. So time will tell. But let's hope we don't have a repeat of what happened down in Florida years ago.
Last year, yeah.
When Georgia,
2 years ago, whenever it was, 2 years ago.
When Georgia Southern went down there and beat Florida, and that was the end of
it. Was it last year?
That was the end of Wilmot. I think it was 2 years ago.
Last year, whatever it was, when Southern went back there and beat Florida on that last game. Yeah.
That's the ongoing joke in the state of Georgia. What's the last team from the state of Georgia to beat Florida? Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern.
It kind of just stings when you're a Georgia
fan. It does sting, doesn't it? I know the Southern fans are all fired up. They're ready. I mean, they beat Troy big time, and they're ready to come and run that wishbone and T-bone and all kinds of bones against Georgia this coming Saturday.
The interview with their coach at the end of the game, he said, he said, we won't have any problem getting them ready to play. That's for sure. They'll be fired up, ready to go. So it'll be fun. They've even moved to a 7 p.m. game at night.
Oh, have they?
It's on ESPNU. So we'll have it on Big Dog Country, the Georgia Southern broadcast. But I know a lot of Eagle fans are hit up there. A lot of Georgia fans are hit up there. So should be a fun game.
Yep, should be a fun game. 7 o'clock this coming Saturday. And that broadcast will start at 5 o'clock right here on 105.5 FM.
If Georgia can shut down that bone attack, we'll be good. If we can't, it's a good thing about it. And Georgia's last two opponents were in the same offense, so all we got to do for the next 2 weeks is prepare for that.
I know, for Southern and for Tech.
That's right. So hopefully Jeremy Pruitt will put in a good defense, and we'll be able to stop those offenses and win those 2 games, and then go to a bowl game and get a 10th win. So, but the game still perplexing is the Georgia-Florida game. Why would change quarterbacks?
I know. It doesn't make any sense at all. I think he just wanted to shut up all the critics out there and says, "Oh, we need a quarterback in there."
No one's explained it yet, so it's still a mystery. Still perplexing. Still hard to understand why they panicked and went with a new quarterback and didn't go with the offense they were in against Kentucky and the offense they were in against Auburn, which was the wild dog offense. Where was that? At Georgia, Florida.
Heaven knows.
So, I don't know. Just very hard to swallow. Like I said, I still vision that drop pass to Tennessee, wide open.
Wide open. Right there in the breadbasket.
Dropped it. So.
We could have won that Tennessee game. It would have been a whole different look at things right now. All right, well, yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles, Bob.
A lot of upsets over the weekend. Like I said, Baylor went down undefeated, so it's going to be interesting to see what the new Tuesday night poll is. It doesn't stay the same. It should stay the same with the 4 teams winning, but you just don't ever know. Yeah.
Clemson wins. Alabama did okay against Mississippi State.
Did okay.
Yeah.
They destroyed
them, I know.
Yeah. Everybody can talk about how Dak Prescott was going to give him fish. I don't think Dak Prescott was on his back all game. 31 to that Alabama defense is just
something else, isn't it?
It's very, very good.
Man, yeah, they just whipped up on them. And so you have those teams. Florida just barely won. Isn't that right? Did they win by 3?
No, they won by 10.
Okay.
24 for
I must be thinking of another game.
They had the game in control, and South Carolina came back at the end a little bit. But Florida.
Was it the following earlier week? It's Vanderbilt, South Carolina. They won by 10. Yeah, against South Carolina.
9-7 against Vanderbilt.
Yeah. All right. So other games from the weekend that kind of sparked your interest in college that you took a look at?
Like I said, Oklahoma State survived. They were down by a bunch against Iowa State, but came back and won by 1. So
Now,
Oklahoma
didn't Oregon beat somebody that was? I think one of those Oregon teams beat somebody that was either just one loss or no losses or something like that. Stanford lost to somebody is what it was. So, that's the reason why you play the game. You just don't go by who's predicted to win. I mean, look at Mary Persons. They were predicted to beat us by 21 points and beat us by 1.
The game is going to be interesting. Thanksgiving weekend's the Florida State game. That's going to be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
Florida can't afford to have another loss before they hit the SEC championship game, but that Florida State game is going to be an interesting ball game.
Yeah. All right. You've got a meeting to go to tomorrow night, the city council. Is that right?
Right.
Anything important happening on there, Bob? Anything at all that's going to be earth-shattering that the citizens of Jessup really need to? They're hanging.
I didn't see anything on there.
Hanging on to.
So they're going to get the final results of the final totals of the Archfest. That'll be fun.
Okay. And you got court going on this week too, right?
Right. The emergency well repair. I don't know what that means. That approval of that. And then they got the update on the $50,000 REPC grant. And then the discussion on recycling, which is always a discussion, but it stays in the discussion phase.
It does, doesn't it? Recycling and trash pickup. Yeah. Whew. Always on the forefront of the voters' minds out there. All right, you had pro football yesterday. Anything stand out there from there that you kind of noticed yesterday?
I just never thought I'd hear the words Peyton Manning benched.
Peyton Manning benched.
I mean, that just shook me. I was like, watching him, it's just really sad to watch. I mean, what's that old saying? Father Time's undefeated.
Yeah. He's got a hurt foot or something.
I think Father Time's caught up with Peyton. He just can't throw the ball downfield, and he threw 4 interceptions. I still didn't hear whether he took himself out or he just got, but the story was he got replaced and benched. But I was like, Peyton Manning benched. I don't think I've ever heard those words. Never thought I'd hear those words, but just sad to see.
Yeah.
See what transpires later. Then it was interesting watching the NFL Network. Those guys were saying that, John Elway is the GM and John Fox was the coach last year at Denver, and he left because apparently he felt that they need to move in a new direction, that Peyton Manning just didn't have the arm strength anymore.
Right.
But Elway disagreed, so Fox left, and they got a new coach in there, Kubiak. But now that all this is taking place, they're wondering, did they mess up by getting rid of John Fox, their coach? So, interesting discussions in Denver, but they're still in the lead in the division, still headed for the playoffs, but he just didn't look very good yesterday. I mean, just a bad performance by Peyton Manning, but I never thought I'd see Peyton Manning benched in a game. I never thought I'd hear those words, Peyton Manning benched.
Not injured, but benched. Oh, well. Did they end up winning or losing the game?
They lost.
Okay.
Yeah. They were in jeopardy of being shut out. They've never been shut out at home. I mean, they were losing at one point like 20-0. So,
oh, wow.
And it was late in the third quarter, but they did come back and score 2 touchdowns. I think the final was 29-13 was the final.
And the Jags went on the road, huh?
The Jags won. Did you see how they won that game?
No, I didn't get to see that.
You talk about a gift.
Okay, tell us what the gift was, Bob.
The last play.
Santa Claus came early, huh?
Last play of the game, they're back on their own 45-yard line. Blake Bortles almost trips and falls, getting the snap, stands up and looks downfield and gets racked by Elmas Dumerville. But Elmas Dumerville made the mistake of grabbing his face mask. So instead of the game ending on that play, the game can't end on a penalty. So a 15-yard penalty moved the ball down to the 45 or the 40-yard line of Baltimore. And Myers, who missed a 28-yard field goal earlier in the game, came out and kicked a 53-yard field goal with no time left. And the Jaguars celebrated like it was Christmas, and they won the Super Bowl because they snapped a 13-game road losing streak. So
because of the old face mask there.
Thursday night, it should be rocking in Jacksonville. They're one game out of the playoffs, one game out of the division lead. They're talking playoffs in Jacksonville with a 3-7 record. You gotta love it.
It's like the case, Bob. All you gotta do is get in the playoffs. Doesn't matter how you get there.
Optimism in Jacksonville.
So who do they play Thursday night in Jacksonville?
Tennessee
Thursday night.
Yeah. And they should be favored in that game. Mark Mariota coming to town. So it'll be fun, but it'll be interesting with the atmospheres in Jacksonville. Like I said, they're just one game out of the division lead. They got the Colts later in the year.
Amazing.
So who knows?
3-7.
Jacksonville could possibly win the division and get in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Playoffs.
Playoffs? That happened since the mid to late 90s.
But that was a great win for them. Big field goal. A lot of teams won on the last second field goal. New England won their game on the last second field goal, 52-yarder. But again,
Giants always seem to have their number.
Tom Brady on fire. I said, just hand him the Super Bowl trophy, MVP trophy. Give it all to him. They've made him mad. He's on fire. You can see it in his eyes. I mean, he's the MVP. MVP Tom Brady, Super Bowl champion Tom Brady, hand him the trophy. Can't wait for Roger Goodell to have to hand him the trophy, see if he says anything.
Okay.
He's been mum, hasn't said hardly anything, but maybe after he wins the Super Bowl and gets the MVP trophy, the Super Bowl, and the MVP of the regular season, he'll finally step up and say, do you really think I'm a cheater now?
I don't think he'll say anything like that.
That's what he's upset about.
I think Goodell hands him to the ball with an air pump.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. Looking pretty good so far, but, long way to go, Bob. Long way to go.
Nobody said anything about the air and the balls. You don't hear anything more about that, do you?
No, we shouldn't have heard as much about it as we did.
I tell you made the man mad.
Just amazing how they just kept after that. He did.
What's that old saying?
Let a stinking dog lie.
If a man's on a mission, it's like the Blues Brothers. One day in Aykroyd and Jim Belushi, they were on a mission from God.
They were on a mission from God, and nothing was stopping them.
That's right.
Nothing was stopping those two guys.
That's what Tom Brady is. He's on a mission.
That none had given them the mission, and nothing was going to stop them. And you got to give credit to those two guys, the Blues Brothers. They stayed right on it. They didn't stop. They kept on that mission. They paid those taxes, and then half the Illinois police arrested them.
Yeah. Tom Brady's on a mission. He looks awfully good.
I wonder how many cars they crashed in that movie. It was a good movie. The Blues Brothers. All right. Anything else on your mind this morning, Bob?
Just that sad story of the weekend in Paris. I mean, it's just a mess. So.
You had that in Paris. You had that in Lebanon. You had all that going on there. But Paris, of course, is what drawing all the attention there. And Geraldo Rivera, one of his daughters was over there. And they showed a video on Sunday morning of him greeting his daughter in Paris. He got on a plane, went right over to Paris, and he took his daughter home. He took her back. He's getting her out of there. That's
just watching all the news reports, and it's interesting to say they said the main target was the soccer stadium, but the guy didn't get to the soccer stadium. Apparently, they showed up late and got prevented from going inside. And then he had one of those suicide vests on and blew himself up outside the stadium. So.
Wow. You got to be careful when you just.
Be interesting with reactions. It's interesting that conversation. I'd like to know what's been a fly in that conversation with Putin and Obama yesterday for that 30-minute meeting. Did you see that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
I was telling Joe that'd be my strategy. They just shot down the Russian plane, so I'd get with Putin, get with China, get with some other major powers, and just destroy ISIS.
I mean, they're not like a country. They're just in a few towns in Syria and northern Iraq.
Well, you got to take them as a serious threat, and unfortunately,
our president take them a serious threat. A lot of those they have mentioned the fact that all these refugees, hundreds of thousands of refugees, just going into Europe. They have got plants in there. They've got ISIS people who have been trained to blend in and to go in there and do this, just like you've got all these immigrants coming in across the border. I would say that probably 99% of them are just fine, but you've got 1% of them that are criminals from their prisons, drug dealers, terrorists, all that coming over. So a country just cannot open up their border. And I think that's the reason why Donald Trump is doing so well. You've got to be very careful who you allow in your country and do a complete background check, physical check, everything else before you allow them to come to your country. And I think that Europe's finding that out over there because ISIS says that they're going to put operatives in all these countries that just seem to open their borders, and they're going to do this. So this was a very well coordinated event here with a lot of training, a lot of planning.
Be interesting to see what the response is.
Yeah. All right, Bob. Have a good day. All right, the world famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you.